My new single, Dreams, is out now. It's about not being able to sleep because you're constantly thinking about something or someone. It's about insomnia, craving a dream, but also wanting to avoid the dream because you feel guilty about the dream. It's a pretty intense song. I wrote this song on a rainy night in my bedroom, which is classic me. The weather was perfect. Conditions were perfect. If you haven't heard Dreams yet, here is a little acoustic preview. Tired eyes, I don't know how I sleep at night. I'm fighting just to live my life without you on my mind. Midnight comes and goes again. I just imagine touching your skin. Who am I to judge what happens in my mind? And my lover kisses me goodnight. I wish I didn't dream about you, but there ain't nothing I can do, 'cause dreams don't come true. So the song kind of flowed out of me really quickly. I wrote this song in a matter of minutes and it kind of wrote itself. And then when the song was done, much like a dream, I kind of forgot about it, if I'm honest. And I remember playing it to some people and my Patreon crew, and I remember getting really good feedback about the song. But it was just me and my acoustic guitar at the time, and I wasn't sure if it was the kind of thing that I wanted to put out. So I took it into the studio, me and my producer and I, apologies for my terrible grammar, Ben Matravers. We worked on this song for quite a long time, really. So we were in the studio, and then if Ben had extra ideas for little soundscapey bits, then he would send me those. But for the most part, I was there in the studio and we were figuring out the production and crafting the song together. Originally, I laid down my acoustic guitar parts first, which were So I laid down my acoustic guitar parts and we figured out the tempo that was right for the feel of that song. And then Ben added the beat, which is like a Fleetwood Mac style drum beat, in my mind anyway. And then we added acoustic guitar riffs, palm muted stuff, really funky stuff, but kind of kept it to the back of the mix so that it wasn't too in your face, because I wanted this song to be but it's a pop song, but I wanted it to be chilled, you know, not too try hard, I guess. And then Ben added some really cool bass synth stuff and other sparkly bits and keys and emulated strings. And yeah, it came together really well, but it took a while to craft this to a point where we were both feeling like it was really at its best. And once it was at its best and we'd done all the vocals and the vocal harmonies, I took it into Green Mountain Studios and Lee Smith mixed the song and did an amazing job, as always. The song was mastered by Andy Hippie Baldwin, who works at Metropolis Studios in London. That was the only part of the song kind of creation that I wasn't there for. So I sent it off. Andy masters all of my stuff, so I knew that it was going to be good. And it was the final kind of polish. So I felt confident to send it off. Not that Lee Smith at Green Mountain Studios and Ben Matravers don't do a great job and wouldn't be great by themselves, but I like to be really hands-on in the creation and like sound selection and all that kind of stuff. In terms of like production, mix, and yeah, it's come together really well, and I'm super proud of this song, and I hope you enjoy it too. If you want to check it out, the link is in the description box below. So about the song. The song Dreams describes insomnia and an intense feeling of guilt after you've dreamt about someone or something that you feel like you're not supposed to have dreamt about. So, for example, when I first met my wife. I was in a relationship. I didn't cheat. It wasn't like that. But we met and we talked and we clicked, and then we went our separate ways and didn't see each other for quite a while. And eventually, obviously, we got together. But in the meantime, I felt so guilty that I was thinking about her a lot, and it was driving me insane. And it's that thing of, like, you can't control your thoughts, but you want to. And sometimes you have these thoughts that you can't control, and you think that it's just not the right thing to be thinking, but you don't want to control the thoughts either. Like, you choose not to control the thoughts. And I just felt like that was such an interesting concept. You know, sometimes you have these dreams that are outrageous dreams, and people think, you know, dreams, do dreams mean something? Are dreams trying to tell you something? I had dreams about her at a time when I wasn't supposed to be having dreams about her, and it was driving me insane. I was feeling really, really guilty about it. And so that's where the line comes from in the pre-chorus. Well, at the end of the first verse, actually. Who am I to judge what happens in my mind? It's like saying, I can't control what I'm thinking about, so it's not my fault, even though you feel really guilty about it. You're not in control of what you dream about at night. You are kind of in control about what you think about in the day, but you might choose not to control those thoughts. It's a real complex one. So I did forget about this song for a while, and I think that's kind of interesting because that's the way that dreams go, isn't it? So you have the dream, and then more often than not, I think people forget the dreams that they have. Sometimes I feel like I'm having a dream and I can feel myself waking up, and the dream is sort of slipping away, and I'm almost trying to climb back into the dream and grab hold of the dream. And sometimes I manage to get myself back into the dream that I'm having when I'm asleep. This might sound crazy. And other times it's just gone forever, and then a few minutes later you could ask me what the dream was about and why I wanted to get back into it, and I wouldn't be able to tell you because I'd have forgotten. Bizarre. Lately, my dreams have been really vivid and realistic. Like, I can see things very clearly and taste and touch and smell things. And more often than not, I don't question whether I'm in a dream or not because it feels so real. Some of you might relate to this, some of you might think I'm crazy, but sometimes when I'm having a dream, I realise that it's a dream, and usually in those cases I end up waking up. But for the most part recently, I'm having these dreams where I don't realise it's a dream, and I'm really in it, seeing things and in the dream, and it just feels so real. And that in itself can be really freaky, because then I think, you know, now in real life when I'm awake, is this a dream of a kind? Is my brain actually truly awake when it's able to just wander off and explore these weird things that are happening in the night when I'm asleep? Is that my brain really being awake? Or is this my brain being awake? I don't have any of the answers. I just have a lot of questions. I want to say a massive thank you to my Patreon crew who heard this song before anybody else did, and who encouraged me to work on it and get it produced up and record it properly so that I could release it. It's really amazing to have a core group of people who give me feedback on demos and actually end up shaping my career through encouraging me to release different songs. And I just think it's a really cool place. If you want to check out Patreon, it's basically a place on the internet where I share monthly original song demos and more behind the scenes stuff, and it's just a really good soundboard for me as an artist to share ideas with a core group of people who tell me whether they are shit or not. If you want to check that out, link in the box below. So let me know what you think of my new single, Dreams. I really hope you like it. I think you will. I think it's my best work yet. And although it took a really short amount of time to write the song, we worked on it for a long time. So when I listen back to it now, there's little things that I hear that I really appreciate because I know how much work has gone into crafting the thing. And I don't know whether people will have noticed those tiny changes or little nuances of things, but I think it's definitely the best song that I've written and released so far, so I hope you really like it. Let me know what you think, and I will see you soon.